Hello, this is Mr. Chabry. Welcome to another week of NGDL. Before we jump in here, this is our team. Actually been doing pretty good. We did get a win last week, and hopefully we can continue with our wins. This is the other team. Actually, I forgot to get their team updated, so this is actually not even close to their current team. But yeah, I'll just name off some things that they have that I'm afraid of. Venusaur, Mega Venusaur, of course. Blacephalon, last time my opponent tried to set up with that thing. My opponent now has Dragonite, and that's actually a very scary Pokemon. And if you didn't notice, I actually got my hair cut. So let me know what you think about that in the comments. We've got ourselves a pretty scary team right here, of course. I was pretty sure a lot of these scary Pokemon. My opponent brought both water types. I'm hoping we can... Jeez. Actually, Lantern is immune to electricity if it's a Volt Absorb variant. So maybe, if we can get rid of Lantern, Luxray can actually hit things really hard. And my thought process with Luxray is it did good last time. I need something to hit Primarina. It's really one of the best mons I got for that. It's actually Scarfed max speed, because I'm hoping my opponent, tries to speed tie something with Blacephalon, and maybe don't put max speed into that. Just a thought. I don't know if it's going to work out that way, but it actually could. I'm going to actually lead off with Luxray, and Volt Switch first turn. If my opponent goes into Lantern, I can easily go into Florges. So I think that's going to be my first play. And if we go on the offensive, we're going to actually get to know if Lantern is Volt Absorb or Water Absorb. So we're going to know right off the bat what variant of Lantern my opponent has brought. We're going to see Primarina. This is actually not that bad of a matchup for me. So let me just see, because I could take this thing out with one hit pretty easily. So with that in mind, I don't think my opponent lets me have this thing. Let's see here. Yeah, Wild Charge devastates this thing. So I'm going to actually Volt Switch. Actually, how much can we do to a Lantern that would possibly switch in? With Superpower, 50%. I think I want to Volt Absorb, or Volt Switch. With that, we can basically see if Lantern is a Volt Absorb. If not, if my opponent goes ahead and switches, we can see what my opponent brings in. We're going to go on the offensive here. Pivot out right off the bat. And try to keep things going in our favor. Because I am kind of nervous about Primarina here. It can actually hit things pretty hard. I did bring Sleep Talk, actually, on Marowak, just in case Mega Venusaur puts it to sleep. Let's see if this has Volt Absorb, and it does. So that's actually good information to know. And I do have an easy switch in, of course, Florges. We just go hard Florges here. But yeah, Superpower would have done about 50% to this thing. Florges can 1v1 this thing with Moonblast. And if Venusaur comes in, I just go hard into Marowak. And we see a Volt Switch on my opponent's side. And Florges will take that pretty easily. But yeah, if we see Venusaur, I go hard into Marowak. Like, there's not a reason for me not to. Alright, let's see here. Let's see what Mega Venusaur could do. I'm still thinking my opponent goes for a Sleep Powder. That's a very big possibility. I do have, like I said, Sleep Talk just for this thing. Absol, I actually brought Substitute on that. That's what I did last time I battled him. And it actually helped me out. With Palkia, I actually put Substitute on it too. So if I can force my opponent to switch out when I have my Palkia out here, I can get behind a Substitute and actually do some work. But with this thing, we're going to go hard into Marrow. And I kind of would like to keep Marowak decently healthy. We're going to see a double switch. Jeez. Okay. But then I can just easily go back into Florges. Yeah, I'll just go back into Florges. And this could be a spec set, or it could be something else. But yeah, I can't let Marowak take any unnecessary damage. There's a Hydro Pump. Should take that decently. And we do. Nice. With that, I would like to actually go for a... I don't want Blastophalon to get in for free. Don't want that to happen. I don't want to make a risky switch here. Let's go ahead. Set up a Wish, maybe. And we're going to see Blastophalon here. No Venusaur, okay. And if my opponent's going to put something to sleep, I'd rather it be the Marowak. But my opponent might not do that. I might have to do something else to go more on the offensive. Need to get some chip damage before we bring Absol in. Yeah. Yeah, Moonblast does nothing, though, so... I feel like I have to go Marowak. And... maybe we get the switch in here. Maybe we get Marowak in here. Alright, here's the Mega Venusaur. Like I said, we do have Sleep Talk on Marowak just for this thing to put us to sleep. Alright, there's the Sludge Bomb. We take that pretty easily. We're going to get all of our health back. So, the question is now, what is my opponent switching? I don't think my opponent's going to let me Flare Blitz this thing and do so much damage. I think my opponent's going to do... what would my opponent bring in? Let's see how much Primarina takes from a Flare Blitz first off. I mean, it doesn't take it very well. That's the thing about Marowak. It can hit things so hard. It's like a truck. I might click Flare Blitz just because my opponent might actually just stay in. I want to get as much damage as I can. Alright, in comes Dragonite, actually. So let's see what we got going on here with Dragonite. An Earthquake does about 80%. We're going to barely do anything. I can easily go into Steelix. And I do have Ice Fang on Steelix. Just for this thing. So let's go Steelix here. I'd like to keep Marowak healthy. I know this thing could go for a D-Dance. But honestly, I think it would be worth getting Steelix in on this thing. Yeah, so... we could take one hit no matter what. Watch out for this thing sweeping us potentially, though. We do here. Let's go ahead and go for an Ice Fang. I need to get as much damage on this thing as I possibly can. So that's what we're going to do. Just click Ice Fang. An Earthquake. We could take an Earthquake. Yeah, we're taking that. Let's get this Ice Fang on this thing. And it's Life Orb. That's actually good to know. I was kind of worried if it was Weakness Policy. But since it is Life Orbed, we're actually okay. Of course, there's a chance we're going to lose Steelix here. But honestly, Steelix is mainly here just for Dragonite anyway. I'm going to click Stealth Rocks just in case my opponent does something else, like switches here. But if not, we just lose Steelix, and that's not the worst thing. We can get something else in here. And go ahead and get Absol in here. Because Absol should be able to outspeed Steel, I think. Actually, no, we don't outspeed, but we do have... Don't have a way to do anything to this thing, do we? I made a questionable play. Oh, man. Honestly, I have to sack something off to this thing. I don't want to sack off Luxray because that's good for Primarina. But honestly, Absol does more for me than Luxray anyway. So I'm going to send Luxray out just to sack it off mainly. I'm going to have my opponent try to hit Absol, and I'm going to send out Luxray. Get the Intimidate. That might actually help us out in surviving a hit. Oh, he's going to go Earthquake anyway, so... Yeah, I think we lose Luxray here. Jeez. Already down 2 Pokemon, but he loses a Dragonite. Which I think that counts as a kill for Luxray, even though Luxray didn't really do anything for that kill. So I actually want to go Palkia here. Just so I can scare something out. And here comes Lantern. And Spatial Rend doesn't do much to this thing. What I want to actually do is click Substitute. I outspeed this thing. If I can get a Substitute going here, I'm going to feel safer. My opponent might actually stay in, or it might actually just go for a Volt Switch. I'm actually okay with that as long as I'm behind a sub. Yeah. We should take the... Oh, he's got Dazzling Gleam. Well. And... Jeez, Go ahead and go into Florges. Right now, I'm kind of on the defensive. And we're on the defensive right now. Let's click Wish. I got rid of Dragonite. I was hoping Steelix could actually be the only thing I sacked off to Dragonite, but unfortunately we had to sack something else off, and Luxray unfortunately was the Mon. I was hoping my opponent didn't go for Earthquake, or even maybe switched expecting a Sucker Punch, but I don't have Sucker Punch on Absol here. I've got Knockoff. And if I could get some damage on this Lantern, a Knockoff will take it out. I really need some luck here. Let's get a Wish up. We see a Scald, my opponent trying to burn my Florges, or burn anything switching in, maybe. I'm gonna click Moonblast. My opponent might not actually stay in, but I would like to get some chip on this thing at least. And I want to get health back on Florges too. So this is twofold here. My opponent goes into Venusaur. I just simply go into Marowak. Here we go. I feel like my opponent might not have Sleep Powder. Just because I feel like my opponent would have went for it already. We get a special attack drop. I love that. Thank you. Thank you, game. Let's see here. We go Marowak on this thing. Actually, I can Protect and Scout, maybe? Scout what this thing would like to do. Yeah, let me think this through real quick. Florges just brought this thing's special attack down. We take a Sludge Bomb. I'm clicking Moonblast just in case my opponent tries to predict a switch. There is a Toxic. Yeah, that's unfortunate. But yeah, we're just going to do barely anything to this thing. We get another special attack drop. Okay. I'll take that. I see this thing having Synthesis, actually. Let's go ahead and... let's go ahead and Wish right here. We're going to Wish. We see a Leech Seed. Thank you for that. I just bring Palkia in. Get some health back onto Palkia. And then we can get behind a Substitute again. And that's the plan. Substitute behind Palkia if we can. And I think my opponent actually tries to go for a Sludge Bomb here. Alright, a Leech Seed, unfortunately. Does connect. But we can easily go behind a Sub. And I could click Spatial Wren. I think my opponent might switch here. But I want to get behind a Sub at least so I can hit something twice. There's the Toxic onto the Sub. Thank you. I could click Spatial Wren. But we could make a risky play here and predict the Primarina. And that's what I'm going to do. Predict Primarina. I have to make a bold play, and it's not going to pay off. It's not going to pay off at all. Not paying off at all, man. Man, right now I am having a tough time. We have to go and get a Wishbacks. We are taking too much damage. Sludge Bomb, please. Thank you. Take that, okay. I have to get a Wish up. I really do. I think this is my only shot, is getting a Wish back. Honestly, right now, things are not looking good for me. I'd much rather have the Leech Seed on Florges so I can switch. Get Palkia back to good health. Honestly, Leap Talk is not doing much for Marowak. Let's go ahead and go into... go back to Palkia, maybe? Yeah. I think we have to, really. I think we have to. Because honestly, I am playing on the defensive right now. We should take the Sludge Bomb. We get poison. Luckily, it is not toxic poison. That's the only plus here. That is not toxic poison. Let's get Marowak in here. I need Marowak. Come on, Marowak. I could get Absol in here, that would actually be really good. But I can't. I can't just switch it in. I have to go Marowak. Or now you're just watching me try to play around this thing. That did so much. That was a crit. Thank you. I love being critted. Alright, let's hit something. Come on. Gotta go. We do about 50 onto that thing. 55 on this. I'm going to click Flare Blitz. Seems to be my best option. You get hit with a Toxic. Come on, man. I need damage. If I can get rid of Venusaur, I should be okay. It did some good damage, actually. Alright, let's click Flare Blitz again. Or we could actually knock off. But I feel like Flare Blitz in the end is okay. Actually, let's see what can Bonemerang finish this Venusaur off. A Flare Blitz clearly will. Bonemerang doesn't. No, I feel like my opponent might actually switch. I'm gonna... Oh no, I predicted a switch earlier and it didn't come true. I'm gonna click Bonemerang just in case my opponent switches. There we go, there's the switch. Primarina comes in. I need both. I need to connect this. Thank you. Thank you. Nothing, jeez. Just click Bonemerang. Thank you. Oh my gosh. There it is. I think we have to sack off Marowak. And this game is actually not going as well as I'd hoped. I think my opponent might actually go for another Hydro Pump. How well do we take it with Palkia? Not really the best. I think we have to sack Marowak off. I think so. Let's click Flare Blitz just in case my opponent brings in Mesprit. Okay. Hydro Pump connects and we lose Marowak, unfortunately. Jeez. We are not doing good. Let's get Absol in here so we can Mega Evolve and actually do something. We are not looking good right now. Not at all. Mega Evolve, please. We just go for Knockoff. Knockoff will do the trick on this thing. Now we just click Knockoff here. Boom. Finally. Thing is gone. Jeez. Like, took so much damage just to get to the point where that thing is gone. I feel like Venusaur might actually come in. No Lantern. Alright, we actually outspeed Lantern. A knockoff does 80%, but what I'm going to do is actually go for a sub here. I feel like my opponent Volt switches. Dazzling Gleam. Like I said, I don't really have a good switch in. Well, I mean, Florges, but it's got some damage on it. Let's go Florges. Honestly, my best option here. much is Dazzling Gleam doing to our Absol? Not enough to take it out, actually. If we can get a Wish onto Absol, we should be fine. Let's get a Wish onto Florges first. There's a Thunderbolt trying to go all out and get rid of our Florges. We'll take that. Let's get some leftover recovery. And we should survive this round of poison. Yeah. Here we just protect. Because we're not taking a hit from anything that this Lantern's doing now. So we have to protect here to get some health back. There's a Volt Switch. And this is going to be a tight battle. Like, really tight. Let's go ahead and Moonblast here. We're actually faster, so this Moonblast is actually going to help us out. Jeez, that is a bulky Lantern. That Lantern is so bulky. It's like so bulky. Out comes Venusaur. I don't see us winning this one actually, because my opponent still has Blastophila at good health. Mesprit too. I think I'm faster. Or actually, there's a good chance I'm not. There's a really good chance I'm not faster. I'm going to click Wish. And just let Florges go down to the poison. Oh, he's going to Synthesis. Just saw that one. Should have saw that one. There's nothing I can do about it anyway. And Absol is a 2-hit KO on this thing. This thing, I think this thing wins. Even Psycho Cut is a 2-hit KO. Okay, so Flora just goes down. We have to go Absol, I think. And then Psycho Cut and hope that we can take this thing out. That's really it. We have to hope that this Psycho Cut does the trick. Sludge Bomb does about 70%. Let's click a Psycho Cut. That's still a 2-hit KO. And we should take one. We do take one Sludge Bomb, luckily. Get a little bit of health back. Click Psycho Cut again. Ah, man. We do take Venusaur out, luckily. Thank you. Oh my gosh. Here comes Lantern again. We can knock this off, I think. We should be fine. We might not even take it out with a knockoff. It's sad. But we have to knock off. Really my best option. We almost took that out. Jeez! Right there! We survived, Absol, you monster! Alright, let's get rid of this thing. I'm done with Lantern's face being here. Goodbye. So long. Sayonara. Don't let the door hit you on the way out, Lantern. Boom. Absol coming through. Surviving a Dazzling Gleam. It's got enough HP investment to survive that. And actually, just remembered that I did put a little bit of special defense, too. This thing is meant to outspeed Blacephalon, which is here. Hello, Blacephalon. I was just talking about you. Yeah, Blacephalon's here. Knockoff completely devastates this thing. And last time we saw a subset. It might... Does it have a sash? No, it don't. Good. Blacephalon is gone. Absol picking up where everything else has fallen. Oh my gosh. This thing could be scarfed. That's a possibility. But I'm just going to knock off here. All I've got. All I've got is knockoff. If this thing is scarfed, I think we lose anyway. I think we do lose. Palkia taking a Dazzling Gleam. Palkia actually does take a Dazzling Gleam, but only one. And this thing actually survives a hit. Okay, but it's not Scarf, so Absol! That actually is that is actually huge. Even though Absol didn't take it out, Absol turned the entire game around on its wings! Everything was on the back of this winged goat, whatever it is. Palkia's got it. This is in range for Palkia to come in and take care of. Alright, we just surf. We just surf, and that's it. We should take a hit from this thing. And I don't even have to worry about taking a hit from this thing. Are we faster? Yeah, we're quite a bit faster, actually. Good game. Wow! That was close. You have no idea how close that was. I thought that was game, but luckily Absol came in, took hits, got a wish back, took another hit, and was able to outspeed Mesprit. Absol, the Mon that saved the battle. Alright, so if you like this, give it a thumbs up, subscribe. I will see you in the next Pokemon video.